Hello. Well, I hope this is working. According to my computer here, this is working. So welcome to Tap into Your Business Best live hangout. And I sent out my link just a few minutes ago. I hope everyone received them okay. I'm just waiting and see if there's anyone coming here joining us with the hangout. I'm just checking right now. So just bear with me for a few minutes while I'm making sure that everything is okay. And it seems to be broadcasting right now. Anyway, well, while I'm waiting for you all to join me, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for subscribing to the Hangout and signing up to join me in my business hangout here. Let me introduce myself a little bit to you before we start. I am a holistic practitioner working in the Greater Toronto area. I have been doing this holistic work for about 2 years now, and prior to that, actually, I've spent a lot of time practicing, but not officially in the professional manner. I was more doing it sort of on a part-time basis. And I would just take a few minutes here just to tell you a little bit about how I actually got into this holistic industry. It was about, I would say, 20-some years ago. Well, actually more than that. After I came to Canada a number of years later, I got into some kind of discomfort. I went to the doctor, and the doctor at the time told me that I got fibromyalgia. And at the time, he advised me basically and say that there is no cure for it, and I have to learn how to live with the pain and the spasm, and gave me some antidepressant and muscle relaxant, and sent me home. So I was quite lucky that I was very sensitive to pharmaceutical drugs. So I was not responding well at all and not reacting, was reacting pretty badly to the medication. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to give up the medication and find another way. So as a result of that, I actually met someone else that is a holistic practitioner. So she introduced me to studying holistic nutrition. So I went and studied that, and then next thing, something else went and lead me to studying what probably some of you have heard of it. It's called Brain Gym. So I studied Brain Gym, I studied Touchful Health, and then I was led to study a whole host of different techniques. I've just looking at my wall right now. Oh yeah, I study integrated energy therapy. Also study bark flower remedies, learn how to use a lot of different homeopathics. Just start studying, learning, because I was just using the tool to help myself basically most of the time. I see that Sam is here. Hi, Sam.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. I was just while I'm waiting for everybody to join in, I'm just explaining about what my journey is like, a little bit about myself. And anyway, yeah, so I studied, a whole host of different techniques, and then now I have quite a number of techniques in my toolkits there. I study bioenergetic synchronization technique, thought field therapy, 3-in-1. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Like access bars and access consciousnesses are the two latest that I really are fascinated by and love it. And I also study, what else? Yeah, I mentioned thought field therapy. So there's a whole bunch of different techniques that I've studied. And my focus has been working on the subconscious mind and helping people to understand that we can do more than what we believe we can do, just simply by working with the mind and removing some blocks that we have. We can do a lot. So right now, I'm really focusing on working with individuals on working with their business and all that. And as I jump into learning from access consciousness, I really find that it opened me up to another level of learning. because subconscious mind is more talking about the past experience and how to work with the mind to remove the blocks. And access consciousness is a completely different area where it's talking about increasing your awareness, which I really like, because my whole philosophy about my practice is empowering individuals to understand that they have the ability to create things. We are creating everything every day. And the whole aspects of us having challenges is also the result of our creation. It's the result of our beliefs and upbringings and all that. So we are not limited at all. And access consciousness is about asking questions and finding out where you are at, increasing yourself and expanding your awareness so that you can, get the answer for yourself and move to the next level. So I'm really excited about all this, and then I decided, you know what? And who is that other person? Because it's got an image there, but I don't see their face. I'm trying to find out who that is. Anyway, I see two people online here. So anyway, today is about tapping into your business best. It's about going beyond what we have achieved so far. So I like to make it a little bit like a chatting environment. So I see that I have set up a Q&A area on the sidebar there that, some of you that are not online can actually type in the questions. Sam is online, and there is another individual, and I see Gail just pop in. So let's just chat a little bit. Like, what are some of the things that you find when you're dealing with your business that may be challenging? Anybody? Nothing? Well, let me tell you, for myself, like today is actually very interesting. As I was preparing doing this, and I find that whenever we do this type of work, when we go into a new project, we always have a new experience that come along with it. So, for example, this morning as I was preparing for this evening, I was looking at myself like, wow, why did I jump into this? Why did I do this? And like, maybe I did it too quickly. Maybe like all kind of thoughts coming up to and start showing up and questioning myself. Have any one of you experienced this when you're running into your business, that you jump into something and then you say, well, maybe I did it too fast. Well, maybe I did it, maybe it's not right. Have you ever experienced that?
Yes.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Anybody? No? Everybody seems to be okay? Well, I have experienced that. And the thing is, I start questioning myself, like, why is it that I have to question myself in a negative way instead of looking at the question and say, okay, what can I do to make it happen? How can I make it change? And what kind of result do I desire in order to create that? So I start using access consciousness clearing statement, which is, in a way, it sounded funny, but I'm sure you will enjoy it. Once you listen to it, it's like, oh, this is interesting. And so what it is with access consciousness, is about asking a question, bringing in awareness. Because every time when you ask a question, your mind automatically will bring up something, whether it's an emotion or actually a reply, a response to you. And that alone will bring up a charge, like an energy. And when you speak about the clearing statement, you allow yourself to clear that energy. And everything in life is about moving forward and moving out of that stuck energy and clearing and keep going from it. So I was saying to myself, like, okay, so what am I doing here, and why am I doing it? I'm freaking out. I was worrying, and then I start asking myself questions, and I say, well, interesting point of view that I have this point of view. And all I did was just saying that, well, why did I have a point of view that I made a mistake? Why did I have a point of view that this was too much rush or whatever? So I start saying that, interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. As I keep saying that and keep saying that and keep saying that, my energy starts shifting and changing. And next thing, I was feeling better. So anything, I just invite you to look at these little tools as a way for you to handle when you have questions about your ability or questions about what's happening, and whether you think this is the right thing. And the fact of the matter is there is no right thing or wrong thing. It's a decision that you make, and everything that you do, whatever action that you took, you decide to take, it's going to bring about a result for you. And it's all about what you learn from it and what you're going to go do with it from that point onward. So if you take away from the perspective of whether there is right or wrong or good or bad, and this is perhaps one of the biggest things for myself, to learn this whole philosophy about no right or wrong, because, well, it's not even right philosophy, to learn about this right or wrong principle, because the fact of the matter is everything is a judgment if we start putting it into right or wrong, good or bad. And if we take away judgment, we can proceed and do our action with so much ease. And when you start practicing saying, you know, interesting point of view, I have this point of view, you start changing from judgment and you're moving into a different energy. It's like, oh, why would I think that way? Why did I jump to the conclusion that it was bad? Yeah, it was a great thing, because isn't it in business, it's about doing things that we have never done before? Isn't it about stepping into what is uncomfortable? Because if we keep doing what we are doing, we're going to keep getting the same result. Running a business is about doing something different, doing something new. And how else can we investigate and find out whether it works or not until we do something different? So there's never a time where all the ducks are going to be lined up. It's never going to be. And it will always be something new, something challenging. And the more uncomfortable it is, the better it is. So this morning when I was really uncomfortable, hi, who's this?
It's Crystal.
Hi, Crystal. Welcome. So the more uncomfortable it is, the more it's telling me that I'm actually making something, I'm making a headway with my business. Because if I stay doing the same thing over and over, I'm never going to have anything new and anything bigger than what I've achieved so far. So this morning, as I experienced doing, you know, having all this, oh my gosh, those sensations that came up, I said to myself, like, yes, I'm doing something different. I'm moving into something uncomfortable, and it is truly uncomfortable that I'm going to discover who I am and what I am. So what I would invite you to do is, like, anytime when you know, feel like, you know, you're very uncomfortable or whatnot, start applying and using the questions and just to ask yourself, you know, some of the things you can ask is like, who does it belong to? Is it someone telling you in the past not to try something new? Is that the case? And if it is not yours, just ask yourself and feel the energy, whether this is right, you know, this is something that is yours or it is someone else's beliefs. Like when I was asking myself earlier, like, is that mine? And right away I'm like, no, that's not mine. That's my dad's fear, and I learned it from him. I learned it that, you know, don't do this, play it safe, and all that. So as soon as I realize it's not mine, I don't need to keep following that track anymore, and I just do the clearing statement, which is this one. It says right or wrong, good or bad, pot or POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And as soon as you clear that, you move the energy away from you, and you allow yourself to have space to do something new and give yourself more choice. We are stuck when we don't allow ourselves to choose, or we are stuck when we shut down. Like I use the word shut down, like energetically. If you went into stress overdrive, your brain basically don't function much and shut down. So the only way you can do is to clear it. So now I promised myself that because this is my first hangout, I said to myself I'm going to do all kinds of things, because one of the things about, you know, running business is really about being able to be uncomfortable. Like if we always have to worry about looking good, what would other people think? Do they agree with me? How would they judge me? How do they see me? we're not going to go anywhere. And as a result of me, doing this live hangout, I have so much takeaway. If for nothing else, I want to thank every one of you for being here and just allowing me to learn so much, because I can speak hours about just organizing this and running this little project, what I learned, and this is going to change the way I run my business just from doing something different. And so one of the things that I did when I was doing my preparation, I started thinking about myself like, oh my gosh, who is going to be there? Some other people may know more stuff than I do, and then some of them may I don't know them, I've never met with them. They may, think I'm weird, and then I have so many different tools, but some of them, they might look at me weird, like when I'm talking about it and I'm, in front of the monitor and doing funny things. What would they think? My mind was running. And as soon as I do, and as soon as my mind starts running, I just go, same thing. I'm like, interesting point of view, you have this point of view. Why do I think that someone is going to judge me? Why do I think that someone else, why do I make such a significant about how other people look at me? And where have I learned to have, placed their importance on others more than myself? Where did I learn that from? And where in my life have I put others before me? And where in my life have I learned to fit into someone else's life in order to be acknowledged, in order to be accepted or approved? Where in my life have I learned that? When have I done that? Who has taught me that? Because everything we have, we learn it from someone. Whether it's parents, whether it's teachers, we all learn from somewhere. And if we go into past life, then yeah, there is all this ancestral influence as well. So where have I learned that? When did I learn that? And whom have I learned this from? And in Access, we have a way to clear it, which is we can return this to the sender with consciousness attached. So right away, I said to myself, when I realized that, I'm like, everywhere that I have try to fit myself into someone else's way of living, where I have been bending over backward to be approved and working really hard, denying myself and wanting to copy and mimic someone else in order to seek approval, I destroy and uncreate it all and return to the sender with consciousness attached. And everything that doesn't allow me to do this, I destroy and uncreate. Right or wrong, good or bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I start saying that nonstop over and over and over. As soon as it happens, I caught myself like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking like so-and-so is going to be there and so-and-so might look at me differently. And then I caught myself. And then I go, wait a minute, I'm not that. So wherever I learned that, whomever I learned that, whenever I learned that, I return that to the senders with consciousness attached, and I destroy and uncreate it all, and right or wrong, good or bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I was running my tapes, like my own tapes, and clearing myself. As a result of that, I was so stressed in the beginning. Towards the end, I was smiling, I was laughing at myself. It's like, you know what, this is great. This is how business needs to be run. It's like doing something that feels right to you, and it matters not how other people look at you. And the whole thing is, we have tools. We have tools that we can use and help ourselves to move forward. And Access Consciousness is all about asking questions and bringing in your awareness to understand where you are. And once you drop that, you'll be able to, move into another space and say, yeah, I'm cool, I'm okay, I've done something I've never done, and yeah, I made a decision, and in a matter of, a few days, I posted, I created it, I learned something, and this is going to be the beginning. And in business, this is all about being different, doing something different, doing something you've never done before, and not getting stuck on the way that we have been doing and being comfortable. So now, one of the things that I was concerned about, because I have no trouble working with client one-on-one. This is the first time where I have a group of people that I may not know, or some of them know me. And it's the first time I do sort of a group meeting. So I was quite concerned about how would people look at me. And I was having severe anxiety. And then I said, wait a minute, you know what to do, Wendy. Like, you know how to work with anxiety and stress and all that. You've learned thought through therapy. You've learned all these different tools. So I said to myself, well, why not share, first of all, how to deal with anxiety? And then secondly, I get it over with the fact that I look maybe strange to all of you, and then I'm getting it done and over with, and I can move on. So I'm going to share with you a technique how you can work with anxiety, and also another technique work with fear. And this technique is called thought through therapy, and it's very simple because sometimes you may be in front of people doing a presentation, or you might be in a situation where I don't know, where went into shock or something and went into fear. So another tool was outside of access consciousness. I'm just going to show you another tool, which is from thought field therapy. One of the things you can do is tap under your eyes here, because in acupuncture, under your eyes here is actually the stomach point. And stomach is where you store your fear. You know how people talk about, I got butterfly in the stomach when I'm about to get on stage and all that. So the stomach is where you hold that energy of fear. So one of the things you can do is just tap on under the eyes there, and just tap about 7 to 10 times. And you can tap it on both sides, yeah. And then the second point you can do is just tap on under the arm about 4 inches below your armpit. So you can just put your hand sideways, and then it's just right below that. And you can just tap that on one side and then tap on the other side, like which is like 4 inches below. So it's, for women, it's like along the bra strap area if you wear a bra. And you basically only need to tap those 2 points in addition to another point, which is under your collarbone, 1 inch to the right, 1 inch to the left. It's right there. And you tap right there. That's your kidney points. And basically, these are the 3 points all you need to do in order to deal with anxiety. Now, one of the things that you can actually do, because the technique is called thought through therapy, so I'm actually going to run through the whole thing with you just to show you. But if you do it, once you get familiar with the points and all that, it's going to take you less than 3 minutes to do the whole process. And I'm talking about a lot of anxiety can be completely rid of in a matter of 3 minutes. So what you can do is this. Let's say, can you think of a stressful, anxious, like a situation where you have anxiety? Can you think of something right now, just off the top of your head? And then get in touch with that, and think about, in the scale of 10, like from 1 to 10, how bad is your anxiety level? So, for example, I don't know, if you're afraid of a snake, imagine yourself seeing a snake, and think about that anxiety level out of the scale of 10. Once you get that number, let's say, for example, 7, you got that, then all you need to do is just start right there, and then tap under the arm, and you tap it on both sides, and then you tap on the collarbone, and then after that, you tap on the point, which is just right below the finger, like between the baby finger, and the ring finger, just the 2 knuckles there, and just on the back of your hand, between the 2 knuckles area, and you just start tapping there. And while you're tapping there, you close your eyes, you open your eyes, and then you look down to the right, look down to the left, and you just roll your eye backward, and then you're all done with regards to that 9 points. And then after that, all you need to do is just go back to under the eye, under the under the arm, and then collarbone. So you finish the whole process, and you can check at that point, go back to that thoughts that you have about, feeling anxious or whatever. Go back to that thought, think about it, and see if you still feel that anxiety. If not, just repeat it one more time. More than likely, it will be done. So this is something that you can do to help yourself fairly easily. with regards to dealing with anxiety. And so that's something you can do. Or you can just ask yourself using access consciousness and just say, interesting point of view, I have this point of view. And keep going that. After a while, the energy will shift and it will go away. And that's a very, very simple tools that you can do. Now, I've been talking quite a bit here, and I just want to know if there's any questions that you have in regards to, your business that you would like to discuss here, and I can perhaps, give you some suggestions in terms of tools that you can use to help with your business. Do you have any questions? And you know that on the side of the screen there is a Q&A there, and you can type questions there if you like. And I can see the questions that you have on the side if you type it there, and I will be able to respond to you. Now, are you able to hear me okay? Everything is okay? Yes? Good. Okay. All right. So now, another thing that I hear a lot of people say, because actually yesterday I was working with someone, and she was saying that she had a hard time. She has a belief that it is hard to earn money. And she said she actually has to take 2 part-time jobs and work 2 part-time jobs because she cannot handle working full-time. And that was something that she says is all my life, it's always been hard, and it is something that she cannot quite know what to do. So I said, all right, interesting point of view that you listen to, like you have this point of view that money is very hard to earn, and you have to work 2 part-time jobs in order to earn and make a living. And she says it's so hard. And as soon as she started doing that, she started crying and getting anxious. So I asked her, I said, okay, is that emotion yours, or is it something that you learn, like something that you learn from someone? And instead of giving an answer, she automatically say, I don't know. And I say, okay, ask yourself the question and listen and see what answer you get. The fact of the matter is we always have an answer. And it is our society that teaches us to learn to go to someone else for answer. And we have been programmed to do that. However, now do we need to continue that? Can we find a better way of doing it? And you can ask yourself a question when you feel something or you have a emotional situation. You actually can ask yourself, does this belong to me, or is this a learned behavior? Is it something that I learned from my mom, I learned from my dad, or I learned from someone around me? And if it is something else that doesn't belong to me, do I have to continue this way? And if not, then you do something about it. And ask yourself, like, questions. You can do some clearing and say, everywhere that I have decided that making money and work is hard, and it takes a lot of effort in order for me to make money, or you have a belief about making money. After making money, you may spend your money, like use up your money quickly, not being responsible for your money. Whatever belief that you have, everywhere you decided that is not the way, and yet you learn that, then you can use the clearing statement and just say, everywhere I have decided that I'm not good with managing money, that I cannot work comfortably 8 hours a day, I cannot handle the stress, that I cannot handle even working 8 hours because it is hard and earning money is hard, that I decide to destroy it and create it all. And right and wrong, good and bad, pop, all nationals, boys and beyonds. And you can just let it go. Now, do you feel overwhelmed that let me see that. I just saw you the pop up very quickly. Um, you feel overwhelmed that there's too much work? Is that what you put there, Crystal? Okay. So, so here's the thing. Overwhelm is actually fear, right? Like you feel like you can't handle that. So the question you can ask yourself is, where have you learned that you can't handle this whatever task that you have, and why did you buy into that concept that you feel overwhelmed about it? Like it's a concept, it's a belief. Like I always say we have 24 hours a day, and we all have been using our time differently. And some people achieve a lot in 24 hours, some people achieve nothing in 24 hours, and we all have the same thing. So when were we taught to go into that fear and can't handle and all that? Like why? And when the overwhelming coming, all you need to do is pot and park that, use that clearing statement, or ask yourself, what can I do differently today that I can create peace and ease in my life? Just ask the question and let your mind get into clearing it and creating the new answer for you. Because at the end of the day, you're functioning from what you have been accustomed to. And when you ask a different question and your brain starts providing the answer, when your brain starts providing the answer, you're going to act and respond differently. So overwhelm is not real. It's just a way for us to not moving forward and not doing any of that. So use the question, ask how much energy am I using to create this feeling of overwhelm, and where have I learned this, and return this to the center and pot and park that. I'm fairly new to Access. However, I just find that all we need to do is keep asking the question and ask yourself, where have I learned that? How much energy have I used to spend in being anxious or overwhelmed? Why am I wasting my time there? So what can I do differently today? And then anything that doesn't allow you to do that, right or wrong, put a bed pop pop, long night shows, boys and beyond. Clear it. I have Sandra here asking me, what is the best way I explain best to someone new? So, okay, so best is, I assume you're talking about bioenergetic synchronization technique, am I correct? So, how do I explain best? Basically, bioenergetic synchronization technique is the technique that works with the subconscious mind, and it helps the body to, using the applied kinesiology muscle testing method. It uses the muscle testing to identify where the body has blocks. And it could be blocks in the physical body, it could be blocks in the emotional level, and it could be blocks in the mental level. So bioenergetic synchronization technique is a technique that allows you to identify where the block is and where is the past experience that is still creating a charge in your body. So such as a previous trauma or experience, negative experience that they have in life, and that has never been dealt with and it's still stuck in the body. And the energy is always there until you clear it. And what bioenergetic synchronization technique allows you to do is using certain eye position, breathing technique, and holding certain points in your brain, allow your brain to let go of that energy charge and therefore basically calm down your nervous system and return your body into balanced state. And the whole principle behind all the techniques such as popular therapy, bioenergetic synchronization technique, and all the other techniques like brain gym and touch for health and all those techniques, it's about honoring the body, having the system, having the wisdom, knowing how to heal itself, how to correct itself. So all we do is just removing the interference. And once we remove that stress from the system, the body automatically knows how to heal itself. And that's the principle behind bioenergetic synchronization technique. And thought field therapy is the same thing, where they identify whether there is blockage that is stuck in the energy field, in the thought field, and we just use the tapping method to move the energy. As far as access consciousness is concerned, it's about moving out the energy that is stuck in our mind and creating a space, I mean in our energy field as well, and creating the space for new possibilities, because it's like anything, we only have so much room. And if we are carrying all the garbage, it's just going to weigh us down. We're not going to go anywhere. And the only way is move it out, move it out. And access consciousness is one of the simple ways where you can just simply ask questions and then part and part using the clearing statements. Now, I think I don't have a lot of explanation here that I'm going to do with regards to the clearing statements, how it works. However, you can go to clearingstatements.com to find out what the detailed explanation about right and wrong, good and bad, hot, or nine shorts, boys and beyonds, what each of them means and why they can help you clear the energy. This is very powerful and it's so simple because you can actually do a lot for yourself simply using these clearing statements and keep asking questions and asking questions and asking questions. It's sort of like being curious. It's like, why? You know, and when you're curious, your mind will provide an answer. And if the answer has a charge to it, you felt it right away. And when you feel it, you can move it out. And that's the beauty of it. Like until you move things out, things are not going to change. And in your business, it's the same thing. What have you been doing all this time that is producing the result to you that you're not maybe satisfied with? And so what can you do differently about it? So ask yourself, get up in the morning and say, what can I do differently today that can create, let's say, $5,000 income for me for this month, or whatever the case may be. But you can get up first thing in the morning and ask yourself that question. And then, you know, everything that doesn't allow you to do that, go and block that. It's beautiful, it's simple, and everyone can do it. And then anytime you have an opinion, just remind yourself, that's just an interesting point of view that you have. We want to stay away from judgment because judgment creates misery, basically. Anytime we judge ourselves or we judge anybody else, and we all have done that. We all have done that. Whether it is out of our programming or out of our well-intention towards ourselves that we believe to be. It's like, oh, I want to do better. Well, what is better? What is better? Like, it's just, you just keep moving, changing. But there is no need to put, like, measuring and criticizing and judging. And if you make a decision right now and you don't like it, it's okay to change. I used to go around and just criticizing myself and say, like, oh my gosh, like, why did I do that? I made that investment and then it didn't come through as I expected. And I go on and on and on, hammering on myself when I could just easily let it go and say, forget about it. There's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad, it just is, and move on. What can I do differently? What is the value of this experience? Ask yourself that. What is the value of this experience? And then ask yourself, what would it take for you to fill in the blanks, to achieve whatever, or simply to be happy or to be peaceful about the situation? Ask yourself that. But just changing and asking that question, you're changing the energy and you're creating a new possibility. How much energy have you spent in doing things against yourself? Ask yourself that. And if you ever have spent a lot of energy in judging yourself and learning to do things that you know, that is not beneficial to yourself, well, why don't we just undo it right now and just destroy and uncreate it all and right and wrong, good and bad, pop, pop, all natural spoils and beyond, and just clear it right there. Like every time when we ask a question, our body reacted right away. Our body respond to it, and that's because our subconscious mind will bring up memories, and it's instant. So rather than having the subconscious mind working against us, why not use that to work for us? And then you can apply it in all areas of your life. What I get so excited about access consciousness is as soon as you understand the principle, you will be able to do a lot of this and apply this in your life where you can start changing, making changes and shifting things and creating new possibilities for yourself and not getting stuck. And then obviously, I mean, I would still encourage you to look at having someone else working with you from time to time, because I always use this analogy. It's like you are in the forest when a situation happening. You can't see very well. You can see only so much. And when you have someone else's point of view, or looking from outside, I should say, when you have someone else there looking from outside in, they will give you more clarity in terms of an opportunity for you to see it from a different angle. And also the energy that they work with you will bring up more stuff that is different. So even as a practitioner myself, I always go to someone else and get some clearing and all that, because we all need each other. And if everyone work on themselves, then there is no need for another person. That's not how the world operates. I believe, and this is my philosophy in my business, is I like to inspire and empower people to do things to help themselves. And that's very important, and all the tools I use are tools that they can use to help themselves. However, at the same time, I also encourage people to take some time for themselves. Like, are you someone that is always work, and put other people first, and then you're exhausted, then you finish the night? Or you're someone that allow yourself to have time for yourself? And I look at working with someone else to take care of yourself is the form of self-care. Working, clearing energy, all that stuff is a way for you to exercise self-care for yourself. It's not quite the same as getting a massage, because there is more that you can clear out of it. Not saying that deep tissue massage doesn't do anything. It can actually bring up emotion as well too. But the fact is, self-care is very important, and I really, really emphasize everyone to look into having a time for yourself. Whether you schedule yourself once a month or twice a month, depending on whatever budget you have, but put aside some time for yourself where you really take care of yourself and shift some energy, change some mindset, and then allow yourself to go back with a new point of view to do your business. Because at the end of the day, whatever we do, we are creating. So if you're creating a result that you are not happy about, you have a choice. You have a choice to create a new result. And using tools such as access consciousness or bioenergetic synchronization technique or thought field therapy, all these different tools allow you to create new space within your energy field and change your mindset and allow you to do something different. And then from there, you can go out and create a new possibility. Does it make sense? Yes? Okay. All right. So anybody has any other questions? Like I don't really have a specific set type of questions. I mean, topics that I have decided to do here tonight. It's just whatever that comes to my mind, as well as whoever type in the questions, I will just flow through with it. But one of the questions that I would probably ask you to ask yourself is like, what do you desire to create with your business? Ask yourself that question. Because a lot of time people look at business like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I want to make X number of dollars or whatever. But at the end of the day, you know that it's not about, when we do a business, it's not just about making money. Money is just something for us to get something else that we want. Because at the end of the day, there's so many people that are so wealthy, but they end up killing themselves. So there is something behind the money that you're looking for. And then behind that, what is that? So ask yourself that question and go into finding out what exactly you want to create with this business and why you want to create it. And then ask yourself, what can you do differently? What can you do differently today? And then if you're not clear about what you desire, then get clear about it. And then start demanding that. I learned this just recently. It's like you really need to demand for it to happen. Until you demand it, nothing is going to happen. Because it's like wishy-washy. Oh, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Like, if you don't demand it, you're going to make excuses. You're going to start saying, well, I don't have enough money for this. Well, I'm all by myself. And, well, I'm already doing this. And then I have to, I don't know, I have to take care of my baby, and I don't have time to do this now. I don't have enough sleep. I'm tired. Like, you can come up with all kinds of stories, right? The thing is, demand it, and you will make it happen. Whatever it takes, you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to give? And what are you willing to do? Until you commit to that, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen in the business until you commit to you. Because you're the creator of everything. You're the creator of your experience. You are the creator of your business. And until the day you feel that you deserve this, or until the day you commit to saying, come hell or high water, I'm doing this. Until you demand for that to happen, it's not going to happen. And I'm actually saying to myself, like, I know my vision, I know my mission, and I have it very clearly. Okay, I got my mission statement, and I don't know if any one of you have a mission statement, but I highly recommend you to really, really spend some time in finding out what is your mission, what is your vision, what do you want to see happen in the future, and bring that future into you closer and closer. It's not out there. It's bringing it in. However, you need to know what you want. Until you know what you want, every day you get up in the morning, you're like, well, what am I going to do now? And I don't know. I'll go through the motion or whatever stuff, and I'm doing it because I have to make money and I have to pay bills. Yeah, that's part of it. But that doesn't drive you. That doesn't excite you. I have made a decision. My business needs to be fun. And my business needs to fit into the vision that I have. And I have established my vision. My vision gives me goosebumps. When I get goosebumps from my vision, I know I got it. And my vision is, I inspire and empower magnificence worldwide. That's my vision. And every time I talk about it, I still get goosebumps. Every time. So I know I got it. And this is where I'm going. I set my track. I set my target. It will happen. It's just a matter of when. And when you get up in the morning, you know that that's your vision. and you are on that track, it makes life very easy because everything that comes across your desk, you're going to look at it and say, does this fit my vision? If it doesn't, I can drop it. I don't need to think about it. And if it fit my vision, I can ask the next question, ask myself, is like, is this something that I choose to do now? Is this a priority for me to choose to do this now? Or is it I can choose to do this a little bit later? I have choice. But I know where my vision is. I know where my path is. And I don't need to look left. I don't need to look right. I only need to know whether whatever comes my way is aligning with my vision. And it doesn't mean one thing. It's like, I mean, my vision is so big, like to empower and to inspire and empower magnificence worldwide. I don't know what is the actual tools that will be delivered to me. I don't know. Right now, it's this holistic business. Is there more? Definitely. What is it? I don't know yet. It's not in my radar yet. However, the fact that I'm very clear about my vision, I know the right one will come to me. And there are lots of choices for me. I have lots of choices. It's for me to choose which one feels right for me, which one is fun for me. And the fact that I have added into my business now the demand to be fun, it changes everything. So I encourage you to ask, really ask the questions and ask for more. Ask for more than just making money. Ask for more than just feeling comfortable. Ask for more. Excitement, fun, I don't know, piles and piles of money at your door. I don't know what makes you excited. I have no idea. But demand it. Can I have more than this? Keep asking. Because now, everything I do, I always have that intention. It has to be fun. And it has to be inspiring and empowering. If they are not, I'm not doing it. It makes life so much easier. And then it will open me up to things that I don't know, honestly. Like the fact that access consciousness come into my life, I'm 100% sure that is because of the fact that I had got so clear about my vision. Ever since I got my vision very clear about 2 months ago, things just keep moving, and it's moving so fast, and it's changing. So if there is nothing that you take away tonight, I highly recommend you to get clear about where you like to go and where you see yourself in relation to the world. Where do you see yourself and how do you contribute to the world? In what capacity are you going to put in your energy to contribute to the world? Because we are here to contribute. We are not here to do a job. We are not here to create a business. That's just a tool. That's not us. We are here to do more than that. So ask yourself, what are you here to contribute? And what are you willing to do to contribute to it? And start tomorrow. Don't give yourself an excuse. Like, I'm so glad that I just jumped in and did this hangout, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing right now. I'm talking and chatting away, and it's totally unexpected. Not what I expected. However, I feel good about it. I did something I've never done, and I know I'll do even more now because I'm comfortable with it now. And then it will keep evolving, it will keep changing. And that's what it's all about. So whatever you're doing right now, ask yourself, what can you do differently? And what is stopping you from doing differently? Where are you putting limitation on yourself? And everywhere that you're putting limitation on yourself, will you please destroy and uncreate it all, right or wrong, good or bad, pop, all nice, boys and beyonds? Where have you learned to be comfortable, to stay comfortable, or stay broke? You know, I've heard that. Actually, this afternoon, I'm so grateful because when I was freaking out, all my personal development training started popping into my head. And one of the things that popped into my head was I trained with a T half actor for many years. And one of the things he liked to say is, be comfortable and be broke, or be uncomfortable and be super, super, super rich and wealthy. So that popped into my head. And I go, okay, Wendy, you are super uncomfortable. Good for you, because you're going to be very wealthy and very successful very soon, because you're willing to do what is uncomfortable. So remind yourself, anytime you feel uncomfortable, just tell yourself, okay? Be uncomfortable and celebrate. Celebrate the fact that you're willing to be uncomfortable. When you stay comfortable, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to stay small, and you're not here to play small. We're not here to play small. We're here to do a lot more, because we have so much. We all have so much. We have whatever you've created so far, you can do it 20 times, 30 times more. So choose to create and choose to play with it. Play with whatever challenge you have and ask questions. Do some tapping. Go to get a best treatment. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. No one can fail in business, because if you don't quit, you will always make it. The distance between success and where you are is just time, nothing else. Unless you're not being true to yourself and you're not doing what you love. And if you're not doing what you love, then find out what makes you tick. And pot and park all the beliefs or limitations that someone gives you about, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you gotta be. My mom told me, girls should go play piano. Girls should be safe and all that stuff. And stop shooting yourself, okay? Stop shooting yourself, and make sure you pot and park all the shooting when you hear that. And thank God I didn't listen to her at all. Thank God I was rebellious. And I'm happy. The fact that I came here, I do something so totally different. And before I studied photography, and my father was like, oh, only boys do photography, running around, and you're carrying around all this equipment. Are you crazy? Well, I like it. So I did everything that the girls supposedly not to do. And I love it. And then now I'm doing this, it's even better. I'm doing what I love, and I'm loving what I do. And that's what it is. Okay, I'm seeing that I'm coming close to the time. So one of the things I want to offer you is, I like to offer you an opportunity to work with me and play with me further. And it's a 6 weeks program where we will be working one-on-one, and we'll be clearing whatever energy or beliefs and thoughts that you may have. And the focus is to help you really dig deep into yourself, to understand, is to tap into you, and then get the best out of it, so that when you are good, your business will be good. And the whole focus is about helping you creating a business that is right for you, and to expand it and grow in the direction that you like to see it happening. So it's a 6 weeks program, and we'll be meeting one-on-one like this. And if some of you are in the area and feels that they need to, come to my clinic, I'm happy to come to work with me in the clinic as well. Nonetheless, it can be online, and that way it's more convenient, and you can book me online and sit in front of the computer, and we can do a lot of work to do a lot of clearing. And that program is $350 for 6 weeks, and I will be working with you one-on-one, and I will send a link out to you later. If you have any further questions, you can take a look at it and then connect with me after. But I highly recommend you look into how you can help yourself move forward by, investigating and looking into these tools, because they really will change the way how you do business. It will change the way how you even function on a day-to-day basis. It has opened me up so much with different tools that I have that I'm like every few months I feel like I'm a different person. Every few months I'm a different person because my awareness is changing. My attitude is changed. It's different. I'm doing things that maybe 2 or 3 years ago I would never dare to do. Maybe even a year ago I wouldn't dare to do. Now I'm doing it and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it, and I know there will be more and more. And this is what it's all about. So I hope you get something out of tonight. It was my intention that everyone will have something that they take away from this little hangout that we have that will help them change their business and grow their business. So thank you very much for watching and participating and joining me here. I really appreciate your support. And I hope I do more and we're going to have fun more and play more. I'll be doing more of these for sure. Okay? Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.